Greetings, friends, family, loved ones. I'm graced by your presence. It is an honor to be able to share with you. These are just clips of thoughts that I have and feel aspired to share with others. One of the things I've been thinking about is a saying by Gandhi, honestly. It was, be the change you wish to see in the world. And treat others how you want to be treated or wish to be treated, or and use good judgment, be good neighbors, and those things entail certain like boundaries and rules to abide by as well, like pausing when you're agitated or confronted with information that feels like it's a threat to one's body or to the the good characteristics and attributes that you hold dearly to your core being. So, and you can influence people, but you can't like you shouldn't have to force them or try to make up their minds and change them in their perspective. But it doesn't mean that they should be violating anything that you have as far as your personal space or a boundary for you. And even in youth should understand that as well. So one of the things I learned when I was a Boy Scout was the Scout oath, motto, and creed. I believe the Scout oath is on my honor, I'll do my best to do my duty to serve God and my country. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, brave, clean, and reverent, and do a good turn daily. Like that's common knowledge that youth could learn and instill in their hearts and their minds that is helpful for daily functioning and activities when it comes to being good neighbors and using good judgment. So yeah, like those basic things, like first do no harm, implant the, that you're worthy and that you're a participant and get to participate in life, and that don't these are things that ought to be common knowledge, but has been pressed upon people in negative ways, channeled through media or through influences or I think one of the things people get caught up in is their respect, and when there has been damaged, pride has been damaged, ego or other things, and it can boil over, or pressures, mental health issues. I mean, there's many facets and things that cause a rip between that connection between your higher conscience, your higher ego and self, or your God conscience, and that like drugs and alcohol influence that they're a major communication barrier, and abuse, any type of abuse that happens, it leads to decay and why me and fear turns into anger and resentment and hatred. So, not poisoning the system, but bringing love and compassion to those that have been wounded, and to instill and influence and being that change you wish to see in the world. Like honestly seeking out positivity. Even the way we greet one another makes a difference in how you feel, and how you're feeling, like if you're being listened to or responded to. That that kind of message is very hopeful and helpful. And so, I mean, the things that youth should get to know is to like have some respect and search for these knowledges, and to to not murder, not steal. Like, these are the basic things that you ought to be able to try to teach a young person on, like instilling in their value and their bubble, their space, having healthy, some type of form of boundaries, and how to communicate openly, having an open channel of communication with you as far as how their day is going or events or being activated in their lives to a degree that's not invasive but invites them to share information that may be pertinent or that they're confused or not sitting well with them. And I'm not a licensed counselor or anything. I'm just, stating from my experience growing up of what I would have held esteemed and done better with. And so yeah, and honestly, like my grandparents that had raised me had done a very good job at communicating, like that they were an open and asking how my day was. And a lot of times I didn't necessarily feel like I mean, in one way, they would say some negative things about like my actual blood parents, my mom or my dad, and I'd be like, well, there's a disconnect. Like, if you don't want me to repeat the mistakes that they've made, then don't tear them apart in front of me or tell me like how bad they were or how they took advantage of you. Don't even say anything if it's going to be just negative, because that's not what kids need to hear. They need to hear the positives, and it's what they need, not necessarily what they want. It's the positives and learning how love builds, and to feel trusted, and that they can be trusted to communicate when an issue is arising or something that they're confused about. Because if you push agendas and discourage them from hopes, dreams, and aspirations, they're not going to trust you as much as if you are open to their suggestions for where they want to go in life. And you can influence them more by connecting with them on their journeys if you show an interest in some of their hopes and aspirations and dreams, but also being real with them and acknowledging that there are other avenues and options available for them. So, I mean, it's our experiences. They have a lot of influences around them that are some very unhealthy and some that are healthy influences. So I think ultimately picking and choosing to try your best and instill values and encourage your children to grow in a way that is healthy is definitely a positive way to go, and not doing any kind of abuse, like verbal, mental, physical, drugs and alcohol, like any kind of abuse is abuse. Like, that's where the line is drawn with that. And yeah, so I choose a path of sobriety, and I've been working on for a couple of years now of that. So being sober and being celibate and strengthening myself and my values and encouraging myself to live up to that esteem has brought some independence and some strength in ways that I didn't think I was going to be able to comprehend or grasp or ever manage or come up with. And I'm not doing it on my own necessarily. There's a group of people out there that seek out some more things in self-development and developing skills, and I think these are important for having to have a growth mindset, and that it's okay to meditate on and be alone and think of actions and reactions in the way we're perceived, so that when we come across obstacles or things that are temptations or hurdles in life, that we're able to confront them in a positive manner or a mature manner that encourages not giving in to the temptations, not falling short of what our duty and obligations are. And that is important. So, yeah, thank you.